Hello, and welcome to the Louise Elizabeth podcast. For those of you that don't know me, I am a professional network marketer, registered holistic nutritionist, and registered yoga teacher. Working in the health world for the last 9 years, being an entrepreneur for the last 6, and being on my own health journey for almost 13, I have come to realize that health is a lifestyle. It's not just what you feed your body with or how you move your body. It's the relationships in your life, the internal dialogue in your head, how you spend your time, and what your purpose is in this life. This podcast is all about how to up-level your life in all aspects of health, wealth, mindset, and lifestyle. If you're ready to live a life you love and feel good about it, then you're in the right place. Hello. Today's episode is going to be a little more business focused. If you don't have a business, that's okay. You'll probably still gain value out of it. But it is going to be a little more business focused because this is just something that I want to share with you because I've had this big revelation myself over the last 12 months. And I wanted to share it for anybody who's on an entrepreneur journey and maybe you struggle or you are struggling or you have struggled or maybe you haven't struggled yet. But when you're on the entrepreneur journey, there's always going to be a lesson. There's always going to be that wall you hit or the glass ceiling or the growing pains, whatever you want to call them. They come with any entrepreneur journey. And I wanted to share one that I've had this last year that I think a lot of people can relate with. So no matter where your business is, doesn't matter if you have a blog business, health business like mine, network marketing, if you have a coaching business, brick and mortar business even, I really believe to my core, if you are not 100% yourself, and when I say 100% yourself, I mean in the way that you market, in the way that you show up, the way that you look for clients, the way that you connect with your clients, the branding, literally every part of your business. If it doesn't align with you and who you are and what you believe in, you will never truly be successful. And that's a bit of a harsh statement. I just realized I came out of my mouth. I was like, that was a bit fiery. But what I mean is I should clarify, I'm not saying you won't have success. I'm not saying you won't, have clients or you won't have business that grows. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is you won't truly be successful in the sense that you're not going to feel satisfied with your business. You're not going to feel happy with your business. You're not going to hit that big goal that you want with your business. You're not going to get the vision that you want if you're not yourself. Again, you can still have success. I can very much attain to that. But then you're going to hit a wall because you're not taking aligned action. You're not doing things that you want to be doing and that you align with. So let me share a bit of my story. If you listen to, actually, no, that's a lie. I'm actually recording episodes back to back because I haven't released one for a few weeks. And this past summer, honestly, I can't believe it's August 26th. And I just wanted to go on a bit of frenzy. So I have the next 3 weeks ready for y'all to listen to because I appreciate podcasts and I appreciate when you find a podcast that you really love and you can listen to them all the time. So anyway, hopefully if you love my podcast, you're stoked that there's another episode coming out. So anyway, that has nothing to do with where I was going because I was going to say that if you listen to last week's, I don't actually know what order I'll upload these in. But if you listen to this other one, you might hear the story, but I just realized the story is going to be different. They relate, but they're going to be different. So, any hooser, my story on if you're not 100% yourself. So, I've been a part of the Juice Plus company for the last 6 years. And so, what's really interesting in network marketing in general, they say success leaves clues. Do what your mentor says, all of these things. And listen, I'm not saying success doesn't leave clues. I'm not saying in something like network marketing or anything that you hire someone. I mean, network marketing, you don't hire anybody, but anything that you've hired somebody to help you, there is an element of taking the information, trying things out, definitely trying things on. And then there's this element of still doing business the way that it aligns and feels right to you. And I will say in something like network marketing, that's a tough line to find. is you have to be really good at filtering out your fears, right? Because you're going to be encouraged to reach out to someone eventually. And even if you have a coaching business, anything, any business that involves a point of sale with clients, you're probably going to have to reach out to somebody. You're going to have to follow up. You're going to have to market yourself. And so you do have to decipher the fear, because there will be fear, with that's just not aligned with me. And that's a tough one to decipher when there's fear involved. That's really tough. So you really do have to get very clear on your values, and you have to get very clear on how you want to run business. And you probably have to do business that doesn't fully align with you at first anyway, to actually be able to figure it out and be like, that just doesn't feel right. So my story is I've been a part of the network marketing industry for 6 years. I've been with Juice Plus for this entire 6 years. I love the products. I love our team. I love that we have a free program, and I just love network marketing in general. And so when I started my business, of course it's like, here's the system, follow it, which as a red person, it's not hard for me to be like, here, step 1, do this, step 2, do this. I did all the things, some of them worked for me, some of them didn't work for me. And I followed along with my mentor said. I asked the questions, I watched the trainings, I looked at the posting ideas, and I would like turn things kind of sort of into mine, but I was like posting how I thought I should. And at the start, it worked. It got my business rolling. I got clients. I hit the first couple promotions. I got a bonus. I qualified my business. Within 2 years, I hit SSC, which is actually a leadership position. But I've been at SSC for almost 4 years now. It'll be 4 years in October. And old Louise would have been embarrassed by that, by the way. No longer embarrassed by that. And maybe this story will shed light on why. But I remember being like, hitting SSC pretty quick. I mean, some people hit NMD pretty quick, but I remember just focusing on that I wasn't hitting that very quick. But anyway, following the blueprint, it worked. And I think with something like network marketing, any business really, like maybe you'll find some momentum at the start when you're trying new things on. You're really excited. There's that excited energy. And then as time passes and you're doing the same things over and over again, and they don't fully maybe align or they don't fully resonate, eventually that kind of eats away at you. And then not only does it eat away at you, it hits this point where you're like bored by it, you're not inspired by it, you don't want to take actions anymore, like it just isn't important to you, you don't care about it. And so that's kind of what happened with me. In October 2029, or just before October, I just remember going to a conference in October and I had just hit SSC. And yeah, it was slowly not resonating with me. I was doing business the way I thought I should do business. I need to stop playing with this thing because you probably hear it in the background. I was doing business the way I thought I should be doing business. And, I was looking for the avatar that I thought I should be looking for, the obvious health lover and, the obvious yogi, and really was, it worked. I shouldn't say it didn't work. It worked for a while. And then I had this point with COVID, which was interesting because COVID hit not too long after. And COVID hit, and I remember everyone talking about how their business was booming. And I was like, my business has stalled. Like, my business is not moving. My business is not going forward. And honestly, my business plateaued for, doing math, for 3 years. It didn't go up. It didn't go down. It just stayed the same. And old Louise would be embarrassed by that. But honestly, I'm really happy and proud about it because I'm like, you know what? I never fucking quit. Because I don't want to say it was easy to get to SSC, but it wasn't like super challenging for me. Some people take 6 years to get to SSC. And I never quit when it did get hard. And the reason I couldn't keep growing is because SSC is a leadership position, yeah, but QNMD, NMD is like a leader of leaders. And I wasn't creating any leaders yet. Either I just didn't have them in my organization and I stopped working on my business because my business was growing. I was like, dusting my hands off. And instead of rolling with my momentum, I sat back and then that momentum stopped. But a big part of that is because I wasn't aligned with what I was doing. I really wasn't. I wasn't aligned, and I shouldn't say it was not that it had nothing to do with the products or nothing. I just had hit this growing spurt where I realized I had outgrown what I was being taught, if that makes sense. And not because my leaders don't have the information, but because of the way that they were teaching. For example, we have a program that we offer all of our clients for free. And I love it. I love that we give it to them for 12 months. What I didn't love was leading with the program. I'm selling the products. Why would I lead with the program? But my mentors told me to lead with the program. So that's what I kept doing. I was looking for all these team members who, at quick glance, look like what you, in theory, want on your team. But I wasn't attracting the mountain babe, the mountain lover, the chick who gets to the top of a hike and her face is red and her hair's frizzy, The one who tells jokes that are maybe slightly inappropriate. The one who doesn't look like the obvious health lover from the outside, from the outside quick glance in, but probably does care about their health because they care about their sports. They care about climbing, they care about hiking, they care about snowboarding or whatever their mountain sport is. They care about their body being strong and fueled for it. So I spent all these years looking for people who I thought I should want in my organization versus people that I did want in my organization, women. I was so focused on the numbers. Everybody said, make up for in numbers what you lack for in skill. What a stupid bit of advice. Seriously, I see where it comes from in theory. But when I think about how much I believe in your thoughts create your reality, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, where I'm in the business of where I spend a lot of time working with my team, a lot of time. I spend a good amount of time with my clients, but I spend a lot of time with my team. Why would I just want anyone and everyone in there? I want people who value my time. So I was attracting all these people that I didn't want in my organization. Don't get me wrong. Not 100% of them were like that, by the way. I have some really awesome team I love so much. I look back and I'm like, I'm not sure how I attracted this amazing person into my organization when I was not aligned. Probably because I still loved the business, but. And so my business was plateaued for 3 years. And then the last 12 months, well, I shouldn't say the last 12 months from now, from about May when I hit the road last year to about May this year, my business was going backwards. So for those first 6 months that we were on the road, so May 2022 till October, I think, I, again, was not taking aligned action. I invested in this mastermind. My business going backwards. I remember all these success leaves clues, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, I'll just do what everybody says that I should do, even though I'm kind of think it's stupid, Of course my business didn't go anywhere. And I almost quit. But I'm so freaking stubborn. There was no way I was quitting, but I almost quit. I literally was like, maybe this just isn't for me. I love the products. I'll take them forever. But maybe I just suck at sales. I suck at this. I suck at that. And I'm just not made for it. But I'm really stubborn. And I didn't want to give anybody the satisfaction of knowing that I quit. And I do love the products. I do love the business. I do love the amazing people that I get to work with. I get to meet even the people who don't end up in my organization. I've met so many amazing women because of this business. I've been able to make friends here in Golden pretty quick because of this business. So I'm so freaking grateful for it. So anyway, I was taking non-aligned action, and that was very obvious. Not only was I not getting results, but anybody I was bringing on was quitting right away, or they were really rude, or clients would get their products, open them up, and then decide to return them. What? It was draining. I was pouring all this time in and seeing zero results, and it was really, really, really hard to not quit. And when you're taking action and you don't fully align with it, it's so draining, especially if nothing's happening. And so at the start of the year, I remember just before New Year, I think it was just before New Year, we had one of our leadership calls. Yeah, it was just before New Year. We had one of our leadership calls. And I remember one of my leaders privately messaging me because I didn't even want to get on this call. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel aligned. I was thinking about quitting. Like I felt like such a fraud. And I remember one of my uplines privately messaging me on Zoom, because you can message someone where the whole group doesn't see if you don't know. I mean, I'm assuming everybody knows about Zoom. And her just being like, "You okay? Like you don't look so good." I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." Just my response was very like, meh. And she basically forced me to come off mute. Didn't force me. She didn't have to try very hard. She's like, "Louise, let's chat. Something's up. What's going on?" And in front of everybody, I just opened up about how I wasn't feeling aligned, how sad I felt, how I just didn't feel like a beach babe. I felt like a fraud when it comes to the HSC brand, like all this stuff. And I was afraid to tell her because someone else had projected their experience of being honest with their upline. And that's their thing. But I was so afraid to tell my leaders that. And the response I got was so beautiful. She looked at me and she was like, "Good. I want you to be nothing but you. That's all I want. That is all I want." She was like, "I want you to be the adventure-loving mountain babe." I was like, "If my hubby had to pick between your team and my team, he would not pick my team, he'd pick yours." And she was like, "Inside of the Health Style Emporium, we don't have that big, large community yet. It's a whole world to tap into. Tap into it." And so, yeah, that was just before the new year. And that was when a lot of because if you listen to my podcast on Your Thoughts Create Your Reality, that was like a few months after I had started to really tap into my thoughts. I'd really gotten into journaling and meditation. I wasn't like super, super consistent with it yet, but I had come a long way. And so I went on this journey of trying to discover how I wanted to do business. I tried a few things on for size. I was kind of exploring with things. I was kind of exploring with what my brand was. And I had just kind of almost found exactly what I wanted, almost. And I won a trip to Mexico with the Juice Plus company, paid expenses trip. And I went, and I remember being there with Ashley and sitting there and just chatting about like how I would rather do business, how like what I feel, what I align with. And I remember her being like, "Yeah, me too. And this is what I do." And I just remember it like totally blowing my mind up. And there's something else that she said, and the way she said it, that I was just like, damn. She was like, "I love social media. Social media is how I want to build my life. I want to use that as a tool to build my life." And I was like, man, me too. And so in May, right around the end of May, is when I really, really started to take aligned action. I stopped, I had a different mentor be like, "Oh, like, there's like beeping in the distance somewhere. I'm sorry if you can hear that." But I had a mentor recently ask me like, "Oh, how many reach outs did you send? This and this and this?" Because I had said that I got no's for 2 months straight. And that's part of my story. I'm kind of jumping ahead myself there, but I'll give that in a sec. But she was like, "How many reach outs did you do?" And I told her, I was like, "I don't know." I stopped tracking because I realized the numbers were causing stress. I was getting so lost in the numbers. And I was like forcing myself to do reach outs instead of just getting to that point where it felt organic. And so that really changed for me in May. I still, at the start of June, I was like, "No, I need to do all these reach outs. I need to do all these reach outs." And then I had a moment where I was like, "No, what am I doing? This is not how I want to do business. This is how I want to do business." And so all of June, all of July, if you guys follow me on social media, I kind of challenged myself to do 30 days of meditating for 15 minutes, no guided meditation, just going through it and visualizing my future and getting clear. And the last 2 months, I've gotten really clear on how I want to do business. Let me tell you, it's so much better. There was a lag effect from the universe. Oh my God, was there ever? I had nothing but no's for 2.5 months straight. And when you're finally taking aligned action and you're being yourself, it's a real test from the universe. Nobody talks about that in between where you make the quantum leap decision and you actually have the quantum leap. Nobody talks about that in between state where nothing's freaking happening. And you're like, what the heck? I'm taking all the aligned action. Here I am. I'm diving into mindset. I'm making sure it's what I want. I've gotten clear on how I want to build business, and that's exactly how I'm building it. Hello. Can I just have a little bit of success? Or I shouldn't say success, but can I just have a couple yeses, please? And how that story is relevant to being yourself, how it wraps all back around, is that when you are being yourself and you're taking these aligned actions, like I never thought about quitting in the last 2 months. It's not even on my forecast. Like, I'm so certain this is where I'm going. I'm so certain this is going to work. I'm so certain all of these things are going to happen. And in fact, they're already done. I know they're on their way to me. And so that sureness comes from taking the aligned action and being 100% myself. I'm not a fluffy person. So I've stopped being fluffy. I just ask people straight out. You open and checking it out? No? Cool. And I still talk to them and build relationships. But the whole like fluffiness and this and that and having to find this and that. No, I'm a freaking magnet. People attract themselves to me. I share authentically on my journey, and that builds my business 10 times faster than any other thing I've ever done in the past. So the more you're yourself, first off, the easier it is to show up. Second off, that's how you're truly going to find the success. Because if the numbers and the needle in your business isn't moving, you're still going to feel so freaking proud of yourself. You're going to feel aligned. You're going to feel excited. And remember, it might just be a lag effect from the universe because you've been taking unaligned action for years or however long. And now you're taking aligned action. So it needs to recalibrate and reset and be like, ooh, okay, she's on path now. Here we go. So one thing, a couple of nuggets that I want to leave you with that's helped me is, first off, find people outside of your industry to learn from. If you're in network marketing especially, even if you're in the coaching business, find people outside of your industry to learn from. Because sometimes you get some really interesting perspective and nuggets of wisdom, and it has nothing to do with industry. It just has to do with success and business or whatever in general, and it translates and is very relevant. The other thing is, if you hear something and you're like, maybe I should do that, and that's your response, don't do it. It's not meant for you. If you hear something you're like, oh shit, yeah, then do that. And if someone says something and you're just like, I don't know, that just doesn't sit quite right, that doesn't feel quite right, trust that feeling. If it's not for you and it doesn't resonate and it doesn't align, trust that feeling. That feeling is not wrong. It's right. It's so right. Remember, you get to build and do business the way you want to. Yes, I understand. Yeah, but there's these ways and these ways and these ways. And I agree, you should have a vision and idea of where you're going. But you also get to create the life that you want. And if how you want to do business looks this way, then do it that way. And own it. And when you get tested by the universe on how bad you want it, don't freaking quit. When you feel like quitting, don't. Really. You can build business, life, whatever, however you want to. There's so many ways to do business. There's no right or wrong way. And if you listen to a podcast or look at somebody else in your industry and you don't feel lit up and it makes you feel like shit, unfollow them, stop listening to them, don't take their advice. Because how they're building business doesn't align with you. And guess what? That's fine. That is so fine. Cool. I hope that this episode was useful for you. I know that this episode would have been so useful for me like 12 months ago. But yeah, if it's useful, share it, leave a comment, leave a review, send me a message. I'm Louise Elizabeth on Instagram. Remember that the journey is all a part of it. You get to make that journey what you like it to be. Even at the time, if it feels really freaking difficult, it still is so worth it to do it aligned with the way you want to do it. Okay, bye everybody.